Hello world, welcome to SD35 CareerEd's video on generating a WorkSafe clearance letter. These letters are necessary for work experience and youth work placements to ensure that the employer does have WorkSafe coverage, and this is how we can check to see if they do. We'll start off by going to Google. You can search WorkSafe clearance letter. I find it easier to go this way because sometimes the place on WorkSite's page that this letter is located changes, and it's just a little bit quicker just to get there from Google. You'll want to go to the Get a Clearance Letter page. And from here, there's two ways you can do it. You can do it this way, which is faster the first time, but much slower the next time you have to ever do one. So I recommend you create an account down here. This will make it much, much quicker for any future reference clearance letter you need to produce. From here, we will sign up, and I'll speed this along. Now that we've got everything completed, and please note that for this you do need to have two numbers in the minimum 8 password length. So I will put that as a reminder because I often forget this and sometimes forget what my password is. Alright, now you can log in, so there's no verification email or anything like that. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to go down to this section here, Manage Clearance Alert Subscriptions. We don't really need to worry about the rest of this page. Now this is where we're going to really save time. We're going to be putting this in for yourself. Alright, and now I've completed all the information here, and we will update the account. This is what saves you a lot of time from creating them manually for each placement and employer, is that this information will be saved. So all you need to do is look up the employer, like I'm going to show you, and print off the letter. Alright, so now we're going to manage the subscription list. On the WorkSafe website, it allows you to store 150 employers in here. So if you use them regularly, this will make it a lot quicker and easier for you to keep track of who your employers are that you've been using and what their status is. On second thought, before we move on, what the subscription list does is it will send you updates if there is a change in status. So let's go to the preferences and make sure that this is set correctly. So any status changes just could be, oh, their status is still up to date. Their status is still up to date. And this happens every few months. You definitely don't want that. What you want is this, critical status changes only. So this is going to let you know if there is a status change that could affect liability and could mean that employees at this worksite no longer have coverage. If that were to change and the employer were to become inactive or no longer an employer, you would get this notification, and then best practice would be to pull the student from that placement, not let them return until the employer's WorkSafe clearance is back up and current. So let's update that. So we'll only get really important ones with regard to all the employers that are on our subscription list. So back to our subscription list, we will go Add to List. And this is annoying, but you always have to click on the second one, unless you know their employer number. And let's look at Langley School District. Search partial names. And here we go. So there's only one listing. That makes it super easy for all of our placements within the district. We're going to select it. We're going to save it to the list. And then we're going to done. Now you can see we've got the account number and the status and the previous status all saved to our subscription list. So this will always be here every time we log in. Now let's get a clearance letter. Click. Actually, you don't need to click there. You go to Create Clearance Letter. Click here. Select the employer you want. Create Clearance Letter. And here we've got the clearance letter. So it tells us here, as it did on the previous screen, here's the information that's going to be saved and included on all of the clearance letters. The name of the business. This is their WorkSafe account number, which goes onto MyWex. And now we have confirmation it's active and in good standing, has met the criteria. It's cleared until July 2019. So we're good. We're good to go ahead with this. Keep this letter on file, and you will also be uploading this letter to MyWex so that we have a record of it for audit purposes, that the employer did have WorkSafe clearance. Next thing I want to show you is what happens if you have a different clearance letter information at the top, so the description. So here in the orange are all the descriptors that would tell you what their status clearance is currently. So basically these top two here, active and in good standing, this is what we're looking for. So this employer being active means that they're up to date with their payments. Well, that's what the good standing means. And it means that they have active coverage, so the employees currently do have coverage by WorkSafe. If we have a canceled in good standing, it means that they are no longer an employer, so employees do not have coverage there anymore because they've canceled their account. Usually you might see this if the company changed ownership, they might have changed names. So just double check with the company to see if there is a different trade name, and always ask for their WorkSafe account number, and that will always make it so you get the right account when we're finding a clearance letter, because you can also search it that way. Active and delinquent, so the employees still are being covered, however, delinquent means that they haven't paid their premiums to WorkSafe. The district's position on this is if they're not paying their premiums to WorkSafe, there might be other things that are going wrong. They might not be taking care of their safety to the level that we'd like them to have our students sent there. So it's a bit of a red flag, and we're not going to be sending students to employers that have a delinquent status here. Recently registered, so they are active, but we don't have any information yet to find out if this is going to be a good employer or not. So we'll have to talk to you. So please contact us at the career ed department, and we'll work through this together to see if this is an employer that we can work with. For some that include movies, they often create a new company, and that therefore a new WorkSafe number and clearance letter for each new title. So it's not like the movie company keeps its name. It will actually be the name of the movie that's registered as a company name. So depending on the circumstance, it can work. Just please consult with us before you go ahead with a placement for anything other than the first two here, active and in good standing, and active and in good standing with advanced clearance.